Once upon a time, I was a Pinterest vision board bandit. Every year, as it approached the new year, I would be online, saving pictures, getting my arts and crafts on, putting together the perfect picture of what I wanted my new year to bring me and what I wanted my life to look like come next year. But what I started to notice is that every year, it was the same things going back on the Pinterest vision board. Every year, the year would roll round. I may have done one or two things or ticked off a couple of the pictures, but for the most part, everything was still on the board instead of in my life. And I made a separate video about why this happens, why your vision board doesn't work, which I will link at the end of this video. But today, I'm here to present a new idea. The idea that the vision board is actually the limitation. Hello and welcome. My name's Nafisa and I help Black and brown women use rebellion as a tool to overcome anxiety so they can start making decisions that reflect the life that they truly want. You see, the ideas that can go on your vision board, the vision that you have for yourself, the dreams that you have, can only be as big as the experiences that you've already had and the information that you have already been exposed to. And as a Black or brown woman, it's important to know and understand how you've been molded and how you've been influenced in relation to this. And this occurred to me after a scene from a show that I watched called Married to Medicine, one of my faves. I don't know if any of you guys watch it, but there's a character in there. She's a Black woman, she's a doctor, she's very well accomplished, a high achiever, and she's done great for herself. And what's happening now is that she's become the breadwinner of her family. She's carrying the family on her back financially, and she now has 2 adult sons that have their hand out to her. They are in their early to mid-20s and still wanting to rely on her financially. They're still wanting her to pay their way, to pay for their accommodation, to pay for their education, to pay for their spending money. They want it all from her. And the scene blew my mind and frightened me because the level of entitlement with which they were demanding these things from her was astonishing. But one thing came to my mind as I watched that scene. I thought to myself, wow, this could never be, and this would never be 2 Black girls asking their mum for these kind of favours. This would never be 2 Black girls having this level of entitlement towards their mother and their mother's money, their mother's hard-earned money. It would never be. And as to why her 2 adult sons have such a big sense of entitlement towards her and to her money, I can't put it down to one specific thing, but what I can be sure of is that nurture has played a role. Nurture, the way that these boys have been socialized, the way that they've been raised, the kind of messaging that they've received from society has embedded in them this sense of entitlement. Us as Black and brown women have a very different experience when it comes to nurture, when it comes to the kind of messaging that we receive from society, when it comes to how our environment responds to us, even as little girls. That would mean that more often than not, we won't be the ones sitting at the table with our hand out. Black and brown girls, Caribbean girls, African girls, Asian girls are taught from a very early age in an experiential way about duty and about responsibility in a way that our male counterparts are not taught, in a way that is not expected of our male counterparts. And it's so important to understand how this shapes your ideas about your future, your vision for your future, your dreams, and what you can aspire towards. From a very early age, a lot of us are raised to embody and to understand duty and responsibility in a way that infiltrates our dreams, in a way that infiltrates our imagination. And so the question becomes, is your Pinterest vision board really your vision? Is it your vision, or is it the vision that you have been molded into? Is it the vision that society, that culture, that religion, that family have told you that you should be striving towards, that you should be dreaming of? So when I say the vision board is your limitation, what I'm inviting you to do is dissect and inspect your vision board. Dissect your dreams. Are they really yours? Do they belong to you? It got to a stage where when I thought of my vision board, I had to sit down and have a really honest conversation with myself about whether these are really my dreams. Because I had a whole section dedicated to my dream job. And I had to ask myself, Nafisa, when have you ever dreamt of labour? When have you ever dreamt of working? Whose dream is this? And what we need to remember is that quite often, because we've been raised within that container of duty and responsibility, even our dreams are responsible. Our dreams are based on our duty, or what we perceive to be our duty, or what society perceives to be our duty. Okay. Little black and brown girls are not afforded the luxury and the privilege of really getting to know ourselves before those burdens of duty and responsibility are placed on our shoulders. We don't get the privilege to explore our curiosity, to really get to know ourselves, to explore our talents fully without being guided and driven in a certain direction. We don't have the privilege of playing our way through and exploring our creativity and figuring it out as we go, because we are raised by parents who are in survival mode, who need to make money in order to make ends meet. And they let us know from very early on that we also have duty and responsibility to follow through on. And so if a lot of us are honest with ourselves and we really dissect the Pinterest vision board, what we will come to the realization of is that maybe some of the dreams on there are ours, but a lot of them don't belong to us. A lot of them are for the people. A lot of them are for society. A lot of them are for the roles that we are invited into. The vision board is the limitation. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you can only dream and imagine as far as the experiences that you've had and the information that you have been exposed to. And it's important to take note of that, because even in terms of the world surrounding us, there's so much that we don't know. There's so much mystery. There's so much that could still unfold that we are not aware of at this present moment in time. We're capped even in our ability to understand and process the information in the world surrounding us. And I always use the dog whistle as an example of this. Dogs can hear a frequency of sound that we cannot hear as humans. And the only reason that we know that dogs can hear this frequency of sound is because of the relationship that humans have with dogs. So imagine what else is going on around you that you can't have access to. You cannot process, you cannot hear, see, smell, taste, touch. Imagine what the other creatures and animals and beings that we share this earth with have access to in terms of information, in terms of frequency, in terms of whatever the case is that we don't know. And so if you don't even have access to the information that you are surrounded by, if you can't even have access to the information that trees have access to, or that animals have access to, or that your pet dog has access to, how far can you really dream? The vision board might just be the limitation, because there may be so much more unfolding in your life. There may be so much more working around you and for you and in your favor that you don't even know about. Despite what you've maybe put on your vision board as your biggest dream or the biggest achievement that you could possibly accomplish, you don't know the half of it. It could be so much better. It could be so much more. You don't know what's around you and conspiring in your favor. So I'm here to say to you today, as a recovering Pinterest vision board bandit, don't take the vision board too personally. If next year rolls around and your vision board is still looking at you with little to nothing ticked off or achieved, don't take it to heart. Don't take it too personally, because your life is so much bigger and can be so much better than anything that you could even dream or imagine to put on your vision board. And instead, take it as an opportunity to get to know yourself. Take it as an opportunity to get in touch with your creativity, to get in touch with your play, to get in touch with an expanded imagination, an imagination beyond the duty and the responsibility that you've been raised in and molded with. Take it as an opportunity to colour outside of the lines, to really, really get to the depths of yourself, of getting to know yourself, of really unpicking and unfolding your imagination so that you can start to really get in touch with your dreams, your desires, not what the world has told you that you should want or that you should desire. Your curiosity about yourself, your creativity, your play is what will help expand your imagination so that you can really get in touch with your dreams, your true dreams. And from that place, you can create a vision board that is in alignment, in true alignment with who you really are. And I can't wait to share this epiphany with my clients as the new year rolls round. But I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about the vision board? Have you ever considered that your Pinterest vision board might actually be full of limitations? Have you ever gotten curious about what you're really putting on your vision board and whether that is your vision for your life or whether there are other voices in that story? How do you plan to go about creating a vision board that is truly in alignment with who you are for this up and coming new year? So thank you for sticking around to have a chat with me. I would love, love, love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Also, do you watch Married to Medicine? Did you see the scene that I'm talking about? And what are your thoughts? What did you think about that? And until next time, like and subscribe for more. Take care.